This episode of News Dump is brought to you by Upstart and by Omaha Steaks.
All roads lead back to MoviePass, don't they?
Oh my God, these people again?
Yeah, there's, surprisingly, in June of 2021, even more news. Yeah, MoviePass, it's the ultimate example of the millennial services tech boom where apps made everything cheaper and easier by burning millions upon millions of dollars of investor money in a desperate attempt to acquire a massive amount of users and figure out how to attain profitability at some point way off in the future.
By then, we'll have it all figured out.
Yeah, now there's plenty of obvious examples of companies who have so far survived this type of development strategy. There's Uber, Lyft, Postmates, DoorDash, companies that are finally starting to turn things around for their investors after becoming pretty much ubiquitous. They had to become industry, monopolies.
Had to completely murder the taxi cab industry and the restaurant delivery business.
By undercutting them with money that didn't really exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a beautiful system.
But the road to success is lined with countless examples of complete failures. Quibi, WeWork, Sidecar, OnLive, Beepy, Washio, and so on and so forth. There's hundreds of startups that just burned a bunch of cash doing a simple service. And people took advantage of that. Yeah. It was great for people that were early signups, but
I actually liked Sidecar. That was my preferred ride-sharing app when it was still around because it was very friendly to the drivers. They let the drivers set their own rates and their own parameters and shit. They gave the drivers final say over everything. Yeah. So of course it couldn't last.
Yeah, of course, yeah. That's the Sidecar is going to cost $10, but the Uber will be $8?
Yeah, you would pop in your information and be like, all right, this guy will do it for $20 and he'll be there in 5 minutes. This guy's got a worse car and he'll be slower, but he'll do it for half the money. Yeah. So what's it going to be, buddy?
Anyways, the app marketplace over the past 10 years has been wild. And typically, at least in the early days, especially with the one we're about to talk about again, the consumers actually benefited.
Yeah.
But the further they go along, the less you start to benefit.
So yeah, while many of these startups and apps might have worked out if they'd scaled differently or were managed better or any number of reasons, the one that was always doomed to fail and the one that did so very publicly was MoviePass. If you've watched our show or were a fan of a night out at the movies for a decent chunk of the 2010s, you're already well aware of MoviePass and why it failed. It started as an all-you-could-watch movie service. You'd pay a monthly fee and then go see as many movies as you wanted to, whenever you wanted to, at any number of theaters. Yeah. We're kind of spoiling today's story by telling you how the app quickly started to fail with consumers after it was already really clear that it was a financial disaster for its investors and parent company, Helios Matheson Analytics. But let's just say they altered the deal and then altered it further. Multiple times, in fact.
They kept altering the deal. They didn't even threaten to keep doing it.
I am altering the deal, and I will alter it further.
By the way, while I was saying that, it's been altered again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, at one point, before completely throwing in the towel, MoviePass was changing its terms and models so rapidly that even using it for one movie a week became a baffling ordeal and sometimes felt impossible. And apparently, as we started to learn last week, that was all by design. Before this, we only assumed the obvious.
Yeah.
Now, anyone following the saga while it played out, including us, again, you could have safely assumed that there was some shady shit going on behind the scenes, and you could have also assumed that every problem that MoviePass subscribers were repeatedly facing had been done intentionally to stop them from using the app for its intended purposes in a desperate attempt by the company to stop hemorrhaging money. Surely they wouldn't do that on purpose, right? That would be against the law and just a bad business practice. Yeah. Well, it shouldn't surprise you or anyone that they were intentionally fucking with the service, they were breaking the law, and now, thanks to an investigation by the Federal Trade Commission, we have a better idea of what exactly the company did in order to screw over their remaining customers.
Yeah, just last week we spoke about a settlement between MoviePass executives Mitch Lowe and Ted Farnsworth and a California District Attorney's Office, which resulted in a fine of $400,000. But on Monday of this week, MoviePass also agreed to settle with the FTC, allowing them to go public with the tactics that were used to deceive customers and make the service intentionally difficult to use. From the New York Times, MoviePass and its executives went to great lengths to deny consumers access to the service that they paid for while also failing to secure their personal information. Daniel Kaufman, the FTC's acting director of the Bureau of Consumer Protection, said in a statement.
Those great lengths, as detailed in the FTC's complaint, revealed that top MoviePass executives were not only aware of efforts to keep users from going to the movies, but led the execution of schemes they knew to be deceptive. Here's some more info from the FTC complaint, and yeah, there's a lot of it. So many shady tactics, in fact, that you would assume a majority of the company's focus at one point was based entirely around making their subscribers' lives miserable.
This is awesome.
In one effort, the company invalidated the passwords of 75,000 subscribers who used the service most often, while falsely claiming, quote, "We have detected suspicious activity or potential fraud on their accounts."
Love it.
So literally, they gave you a warning that your account was like messed with or was the victim of fraud or something so that they could like change things and stop you from using it.
Yeah.
When in reality, nothing had happened.
This is awesome. I fucking love this.
Many of the people who tried to reset their passwords were unable to because of technical problems.
Oh, geez.
The app would not accept their email address, they would not receive a password reset email, or the email would link to a non-working website.
We're working on it.
When users complained, customer service would take weeks to respond. They even hired a dog at one point to do PR.
Oh, yeah, I remember the dog. That dog is dead.
That dog is dead, yeah. When an executive warned that the practice would catch the attention of federal regulators and state attorneys general, Mr. Lowe responded in writing, "Okay, I get it," suggesting the company try it with 2% of our highest volume users.
Just enough that no one will get suspicious.
Yeah. Like, all right, look, yeah, if we did this to a majority of them, sure, people start sniffing around, but what's like a good number to really like have some plausible deniability? 2% of our most active users. All right. Engage.
I believe 100% that the big cable companies are doing this shit with your internet all the time.
Absolutely.
I will not be persuaded otherwise. I fully believe they're down there being like, electric bill's a little high this month. What if we just, this top 2% of people using a lot of internet, what if we just, no.
That's literally what's happened legally in a lot of cases. But I'm sure that there's plenty of cases where they're like, yeah, I mean, it's unlimited internet.
Service outage. Oh, no.
Yeah, you have unlimited, but you don't.
Anyway, in a separate effort, the company required the 20% of users who use the service most often, about 450,000 people, to submit photos of their physical movie tickets for approval through the app, telling them they had been randomly selected for the program.
They're no better than the TSA.
Those who failed to properly submit the tickets more than once would have their accounts canceled. The automated verification system often did not work on common mobile operating systems, and the software failed to recognize many user-submitted photos. Oh, geez. The program...
Well, how are we supposed to know?
The program blocked thousands of people from using the service. Mr. Lowe personally chose how many people would be required to submit photos. I love it.
Mitch Lowe is diabolical.
I love it.
Yeah, also just like, all right, so you're telling me that if we don't update the app to the latest OS on Android and iPhone that we may run into some technical problems with receiving the photos and submissions that we're requesting people to send? Let's not update the app.
Oh, geez. I guess you shouldn't have updated your phone to that new OS because no more MoviePass.
It's just so hard to catch up.
Oh, my gosh.
And then there was the tripwire, which we touched on last week as a result of the case in California. Quote, in a third effort described by the commission, the company created a tripwire by imposing a limit on how often certain users could use the service, but did not disclose the limit in its advertising or terms of use. The company grouped subscribers based on how often they used the service. Then, once the group hit an unannounced limit, the people in the group would be unable to use the service, regulators said. The users often did not know that they had been cut off until they arrived at the theater expecting to use their subscriptions, they said. The tripwire was typically set on users who went to more than 3 movies per month. Mr. Lowe set the thresholds. So he is the one at the end of the day being like, he's sitting there in an office figuring out new ways to fuck the customers.
Yeah.
Because the company, he's about to lose a $1 billion company.
We were supposed to figure out a way to be profitable by now. We're not. But our user base keeps growing, which should be great, but it's not. Because the more it grows, the more we lose. Got to get creative, guys.
I would, look, this is pretty diabolical. I would not want to be this guy. Like, these are decisions that you make out of complete desperation.
This is like
because you've blown millions of dollars.
This is a deep cut, but it reminds me of like David Cross's character in the Todd Margaret show.
Oh yeah.
He gets hired to run just like
This is going to be great.
Failing energy drink company with ties to the North Korean government. Yeah, they should make that show. Another season of Todd Margaret where he's running MoviePass.
Or like honestly, it really seems like they hired Nathan Fielder to save their business, considering the lengths that they went to stop customers from using the product as intended in order to somehow save all that cash. It's not as comically insane as putting discounted TVs behind a tiny door with an alligator guarding it, but it's the whole point was to ruin the customer experience so that they wouldn't waste more of the company's money.
Yeah. It does feel like a Nathan For You thing.
Yeah, like, look, this is a really desirable service. You can see all the movies you want and go to the movie theaters and it works.
Yeah.
But then it's like, all right, the idea worked. We got a bunch of people to sign up and they're giving us $20 a month, $30 a month. But the problem is...
it's too easy.
It costs a lot more money than they're paying in.
Yeah. Gotta make it harder for them. Give them a little bit more of a challenge.
The idea? Ruin the app. Intentionally. Sure, you can, in theory, with this app, you could have seen whatever movies you wanted whenever you wanted to. If you just somehow navigate all the tricks and demands that we put in place. Good luck, enjoy the show. But like we said last week, at the very least, it's good that the people behind this company are actually facing real-life consequences for this shit, and that the reputations of the executives are ruined if they weren't already. But as we've said, every time MoviePass has been brought up over the years, it was good while it lasted, in its original form. The first couple of years there, it really was magic.
Yeah. And we'll never hear the end of this.
No, because there's got to...
rising from the grave.
I feel like there will be a great... This is almost one that I'd rather see a dramatization than an actual documentary. I'd love to see who plays Mitch Lowe in like a made-for-TV movie.
Will Ferrell.
Perfect.
Anyway, moving on now to another saga that we've been following more recently. Those damn cicadas and their domination of a large portion of our country, except our portion, which is cicada-free.
We have our own problem.
So it was a big week for the Brood X cicadas that have hatched and are currently sucking and fucking their way across at least a dozen states. First, we had a car accident caused by a cicada that had flown into someone's window while they were driving, causing the driver to veer off the road and into a utility pole. But the chaos didn't stop there. The swarms of these insects, of which there are reportedly billions, have been so massive that they are showing up on weather radar systems. Earlier this week, the National Weather Service in the Baltimore, D.C. area tweeted out some radar screenshots that looked like large weather systems, but explained that, quote, you may have noticed a lot of fuzziness, low reflectivity values on our radar recently. The hydrometeor classification algorithm shows much of it to be biological in nature. Our guess, it's probably the hashtag cicadas, or aliens.
Could be aliens.
Yeah.
The screenshots literally look like there's a hurricane hitting the D.C. area, but it's just cicadas.
Yeah.
Now, the Brood X cicadas seem to be very focused on our nation's capital.
They're getting bold.
Yeah, they have been grounding aircraft and even attacking President Joe Biden.
They're trying to kill our president.
Yeah, which in turn has sparked conspiracy theories. From the New York Times, the plane set to carry dozens of journalists to Europe to cover President Biden's first trip abroad was on the runway, ready to take off. The cicadas had other ideas. Somehow, the flying insects had filled the plane's engines, grounding it and forcing Mr. Biden's aides to scramble for another way to ferry the reporters overseas.
And if you look closely at these cicadas, they have little tiny red hats on.
Yes.
And one of them has a Viking hat on, and he's painted his face.
Brood MAGA cicadas.
Yeah.
And regarding the conspiracy surrounding Biden's interaction with at least one of these cicadas, it looks like QAnon saw this as a sign that their plan is working.
No.
From Newsweek, a clip of Biden swatting away an insect while he was on the tarmac of Joint Base Andrews ahead of his visit to Cornwall, England for the G7 summit was widely shared on social media on Wednesday.
Watch out for the cicadas. I just got one. It got me.
Rather than just seeing it as an example of the issues caused by the return of the large, loud insects after living underground for the past 17 years, some QAnon supporters claimed the reappearance of the Brood X cicadas is somehow a secret nod that justifies their radical movement. Look,
seems like a reach.
They haven't gotten many messages recently.
Yeah.
So they'll take anything.
Yeah. Wow. Damn. It continues. We, the media, a collection of QAnon advocates with more than 225,000 subscribers on its Telegram account, believes Biden's swatting at the cicadas is actually comms, a secret message that can be decoded by QAnon supporters. Joe Biden bitten by a cicada. Comms? Just so happens cicada nymphs emerge after a 17-year childhood underground, we, the media, wrote. For QAnon supporters, anything that can be linked to the number 17, no matter how tenuous, can be interpreted as comms for them, as Q is the 17th letter of the alphabet. Shut the fuck up. What? Child underground? 17? Yeah, okay. Then, after a short period above ground, they molt, mate, lay eggs, and die, we, the media's post added. The underground comment is a reference to a long-held belief from QAnon that there exists a network of secret underground tunnels where children are being trafficked and abused by the satanic pedophiles they claim they will one day expose.
I mean, the signs are all there.
God.
17 years, kids, underground.
It's just some bugs, guys.
It happens all the time. Anyways, that's certainly something. Good for them, bad for everything.
Look, I know you haven't talked to your grandma and your aunt in a while, ever since she got into this shit, but you should really call her. Like they need you now more than ever. They are on the edge. They're talking about how bugs are all part of their plan.
Yeah. Give them a call.
Give them a call.
And just
don't talk about politics.
Yeah, no, try to keep the topics light. Focus, and anytime it tries to veer that way, just divert it immediately.
Yeah.
Problem
with these Q people is you can't even talk about just like basic pop culture. Like, oh, you see any movies lately? You're like, I just saw the Mr. Rogers movie with Tom Hanks. Oh, you mean that satanic pedophile Tom Hanks? It's like you can't even talk about just basic shit.
Yeah, everything's connected.
Yeah.
And everything is the end of the world, and it's all Democrats' fault. And yeah. Anyways, we definitely look forward to the inevitable Saturday Night Live sketch with Jim Carrey dressed up as a cicada on Joe Biden's neck. I mean, it's only fair after he played the fly on Mike Pence's head.
Did you guys hear that a fly landed on Mike Pence's head? Oh my God, and it stayed there for several minutes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Anyways, we have some more news for you in a second, including some E3 updates. But first, let's take a quick second to thank today's sponsors, starting with Upstart. When it comes to paying off debt, it can often feel like an uphill battle. High interest rates resulting in minimum monthly payments keep you in an endless cycle of debt. Upstart can help you get ahead. Upstart is the fast and easy way to pay off your debt with a personal loan all online. Whether it's paying off credit cards, consolidating high interest debt, or funding personal expenses, over 500,000 people have used Upstart to get a simple, fixed monthly payment.
Unlike other lenders, Upstart looks at more than just your credit score, like your income and employment history. This means they can offer smarter rates with trusted partners. With a 5-minute online rate check, you can see your rate up front for loans between $1,000 to $50,000. You can receive funds as fast as one business day after accepting your loan. Find out how Upstart can lower your monthly payments today when you go to upstart.com/newsdump. That is upstart.com/newsdump. Don't forget to use that URL, our URL, to let them know we sent you. Loan amounts will be determined based on your credit, income, and certain other information provided in your loan application. Go to upstart.com/newsdump.
This episode is also sponsored by Omaha Steaks. It has become summer. Hot out. Next week, we're going to have a heat wave here. It's going to be bad.
Oh, God.
Father's Day is also right around the corner. It's time to start chilling and grilling. Omaha Steaks is here to help. We've all scrambled last minute when looking for gifts for Dad, and Father's Day is literally fast approaching, so It's time. Maybe you'll end up getting him a tie or something that's just going to collect dust. Just stop. Get him something that you know he's going to enjoy and something that benefits the whole family and his friends. You're going to benefit from this too.
Yeah.
And that is an assortment of delicious meats from Omaha Steaks.
Dad isn't just going to cook this for himself. Dads don't cook solo meals on the grill.
No, especially when you get them this much meat.
No.
So go to omahasteaks.com, type in News Dump in the search bar, and order Dad the Get Out and Grill assortment.
It includes 20 entrees that he's guaranteed to love, like ultra juicy burgers, plump chicken breasts, sides, desserts, and 4 10-ounce butcher's cut New York strips. These strips are aged for 30 days. And why is that important, you ask? Age equals tenderness. Plus, get 4 free New York strip burgers with your order. These are ultra lean and pack a bold, intense flavor. Omaha Steaks isn't just steak, it's the best steak of your life, guaranteed. Visit omahasteaks.com, keyword News Dump in the search bar, and order the Get Out and Grill assortment today. Send Dad more than just a gift, send him an experience that he'll love and can share with you. And don't forget, for a limited time, get 4 free New York strip burgers with your order. That is omahasteaks.com. Search News Dump up top.
All right, back into the news, and guess what? It has become E3 2021.
Video games.
Yeah, things are already being announced and trailers have been dropped. But first, let's talk about what to watch over the next couple of days, where to watch it, and when it's happening. Now, first of all, you should be able to see pretty much everything over on the official E3 YouTube and Twitch pages, but if not, any big press conferences, they're going to be on the company's official channels. We'll leave a list of everything with links on where to find those things down below in the description. But here's the big events and when they're happening. So Saturday, most likely today if you're watching this, it's Ubisoft's day with their main event kicking off at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific. Apparently, we'll be showing off like the new Far Cry and
Assassin's Creed.
Stuff like that. But apparently they're doing some kind of free-to-play Tom Clancy game that's like a combination of a bunch of the other games. So that could be
I'm intrigued.
Interesting. That event will be followed up by Gearbox Showcase at 5 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. Sunday is arguably the biggest day for announcements and news, starting with the Xbox and Bethesda Games Showcase at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. The Square Enix will be up next at 3:15 Eastern. Warner Brothers Games goes live at 5 p.m. Eastern. I wonder if they're aware that Discovery owns them or whatever now. That's going to change.
They probably
things.
know, yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, PC Gaming Show, it'll start just after that at 5:30 p.m. Eastern, 2:30 Pacific. And there's a few standout things on Monday, including a Take-Two panel, an Indie Games Showcase, Capcom's event at 5:30 p.m. Eastern, and then Razer closing things out at 6 p.m. Eastern, hopefully debuting that new mask that came right at the nick of time. But
Great timing, yeah.
Tuesday, the final day of this year's virtual E3 event, is just as jam-packed as Sunday with Nintendo's Direct event starting at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. Sorry, everyone on the West Coast. You'll figure it out when you wake up. Bandai Namco later in the evening, of course. And then the big thing this year, the E3 2021 Awards Show will be closing things out at 7:45 p.m.
The trailer awards.
Yeah, it's the most hyped trailer awards.
Yeah.
I mean, it should be interesting. We spoke about it last week, but in case you missed it, it's basically an award show for games that aren't even out yet.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the very least, it should prove to be a decent recap of anything you might have missed over the course of the previous days. And it'll apparently include even more announcements and trailers. It's basically going to be the Game Awards.
But before the games come out.
But that's the thing, is like even the Game Awards, it's like, and here are the winners. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Anyways, here's 10 minutes of new announcements and games. So it's like, all either of these shows are a vessel for marketing materials.
I just love that all these developers have a long checkered history of just straight up lying at E3, and now they're getting awards based on these lies.
Yeah, that should be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, the full list of events and links to where you can watch them is down in the description below. But in the days leading up to E3, there were a few announcements that stood out. Most notably, the announcement and trailer for the next game in EA's Battlefield franchise, 2042.
It's going to sweep the awards. I'm calling it. How could it not?
It looks extremely fun. I mean, it's just a cinematic trailer. But
yeah.
So the trailer is ridiculous. It focuses on what actually makes these games fun, which is the players pushing what is possible within a game that at least attempts to be somewhat realistic.
Yeah.
So while it does show off what the maps will look like and what kind of future tech the game will allow you to play with, there's also scenes where someone launches an ATV off of a skyscraper and directly into an attack helicopter, and a scene where a fighter pilot ejects from his plane, pulls out an RPG from his asshole apparently, blows up his enemy's jet, and then re-enters his own cockpit seamlessly. And that one actually happened. There's a video of someone doing that.
Yeah, I mean, the ATV ones definitely happened too. It's basically they looked at who's a big Battlefield creator, like Jack Frags.
Jack Frags.
And it's just like, let's put that in a cinematic trailer because people will go nuts.
It's cool.
And it's great. Like, Battlefield, the franchise hasn't really
had a rough couple years.
It has. I think Battlefield 4 was probably the last big fun.
That was like 7 years ago.
Yeah. So this will be. Look, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I kind of miss it. So here's from EA's press release about the game. Powered by cutting-edge technology that pushes the capabilities of next-generation hardware, the game drops players into a near-future, all-out war experience that includes the franchise's hallmark game-changing destruction. Featuring matches filled with up to 128 players on the latest consoles and PCs, this unprecedented scale adds a new dimension to multiplayer battles. Battlefield 2042 also ups the action with the inclusion of real-time events that reshape the battlefield and tactical combat. All new weapons, vehicles, and gadgets give players the freedom to be strategic and create jaw-dropping only in Battlefield moments. It also looks like they'll be doing some beta weekends sometime in the near future for people who pre-order the game. Again, you probably shouldn't be pre-ordering games.
No.
Luckily, I think you can pre-order and then cancel your pre-order after the beta.
There's that great, I think it was like a 4chan green text of someone saying that they don't have a bank account. They just store all their money at GameStop by pre-ordering stuff. like way in advance.
Yeah, Elder Scrolls 6.
And then like anytime they need money, they'll just go down to GameStop and cancel their pre-order and get the money back.
Perfect. Also, like for some reason, I saw it on Reddit. They like the devs had to come out and be like, "Look, we're not making a political statement. The tornado's in the game because it's fun, not because of climate change."
Yeah.
So
They they're also they're like, look, it's not a battle royale. There's a mode that a lot of people are gonna say is a battle royale, but it's not a battle royale. It's something new.
Well, as long as they have like the classic mode, like they can put a battle royale in it if they want to. Just like it's your choice to play it or not.
Yeah. Anyway, Microsoft and Xbox had some of their big announcements hit on Friday, most of which revolved around their Game Pass service, which is great.
Yeah.
Once again, they're showing how focused they are on this subscription service from now on, and it's looking less and less appealing to ever buy an actual console from them going forward because, according to The Verge, Microsoft is working with TV manufacturers to make an Xbox app available on devices soon. The software giant is planning to bring its Xbox Game Pass service to TVs through its xCloud streaming technology, opening up more ways to get access to Xbox games. This will be available as both an app on TVs and with Microsoft's own dedicated streaming stick. Quote, we're working with global TV manufacturers to embed the Game Pass experience directly into internet-connected TVs, so all you'll need to play is a controller, says Liz Hamren, head of gaming experiences and platforms at Microsoft. So basically, Stadia, but desirable.
Yeah.
And with a company that's far less likely to give up on the project one day, leaving you with nothing, despite what you paid into it.
Also, you're not, like Stadia's big problem is that you're buying the games, and they could go away.
Yeah.
With Game Pass, you're paying a monthly subscription fee to play whatever you want as that's available. Yeah.
So the Xbox team, they also stated that they're aiming to release new first-party games every quarter in an attempt to achieve a, quote, more consistent flow of good games going into Game Pass, which, hell yeah, brother. Especially with all, I mean, like...
They acquired Bethesda.
Yeah, they've become the Disney of gaming.
The AT&T, the Time Warner.
Which is not great, but, like, they do... Like, all the studios they've bought are great gaming studios, and it's good hearing that those studios have the backing of a company like Microsoft so they can make good games without having to really worry about the bottom line nearly as much.
Look, like as reference to what we talked about at the beginning of today's show, things won't get bad for a while, so use it while it's cheap and they have everything.
Yeah.
They won't start taking advantage of users for at least 5 years.
Yeah, and a little thing about Game Pass that a lot of people might not realize, you can have two people using one account at the same time.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Cool.
It'll be like me playing a game on my computer and then my wife playing a game on the TV. And
wait, they're gonna watch this and shut that down.
Maybe I shouldn't have said anything, but like I didn't even realize it. Like it had been going on for days, and I was like, wait, hold on,
this doesn't make
sense.
How
are we both playing on Game Pass on the same account? And they're allowing this.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway.
Yeah, speaking of first-party Microsoft games, Bethesda officially announced that they are canceling the Battle Royale game mode in Fallout 76. So maybe Battle Royale is officially done. It'll just be Warzone and Fortnite from now on.
Even Warzone. Verdansk 84 fucking sucks. It's just turned into like a sniper game. There's no fucking short play at all. The Rebirth Island, the... Tiny Battle Royale is actually, that's all I play anymore on there, and it's a lot of fun.
Wait, so are they taking away the 80s action icons? I saw like an email that was just like, here's your last chance.
Last chance to like buy them, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right, anyways, Battle Royale in Fallout 76, bye-bye, and that's because no one played it. The mode will be shuttered in September of this year, and in a statement regarding the decision, Bethesda said the following. When we first introduced Nuclear Winter, we were thrilled to watch so many players from our community, as well as many newcomers, dive headfirst into our take on the ruthless, last player standing battle royale genre. Over time, however, we've seen the vast majority of players prefer to explore other aspects of the game. It has also become tougher to put full Nuclear Winter lobbies together without also making sacrifices on match wait times. Which basically means there's not enough people playing to actually launch.
Yeah,
people are just waiting around.
That's what happens.
Additionally, we found it challenging to provide meaningful updates for Nuclear Winter while also developing and supporting exciting new content for Adventure Mode in recent and upcoming updates. With all this in mind, we are currently planning to sunset Nuclear Winter Mode in an update coming this September. So, rest in peace, I guess.
Rest in piss.
Literally no one played it, so just get rid of it.
R.I.P. Bozo.
I wonder how many active users are still just playing Fallout 76. I know there's a dedicated hardcore fan base.
There absolutely is. It's the same type of people that play like Rust all day. Like
I've gone back to it a few times, but it's never for more than a week before I get bored and I'm just like, why am I doing this?
It's Fallout, but without a point. Also, CD Projekt Red took advantage of everyone's attention being focused on E3 right now to announce that that hack that they were the victims of earlier this year, it was actually way worse than they originally stated.
Yeah.
It was bad. The announcement was made on Twitter, but they've done away with the eye-catching and, at this point, triggering yellow notification graphic.
Yeah.
But here's what they said. Today, we have learned new information regarding the breach and now have reason to believe that internal data illegally obtained during the attack is currently being circulated on the internet. We are not able to confirm the exact contents of the data in question, though we believe it may include current/former employee and contractor details in addition to data related to our games. Furthermore, we cannot confirm whether or not the data involved may have been manipulated or tampered with following the breach. We would also like to state that, regardless of the authenticity of the data being circulated, we will do everything in our power to protect the privacy of our employees as well as all other involved parties. We are committed and prepared to take action against parties sharing the stolen data. That's an oops. And I only saw one little detail that I don't even know if it's true, but apparently for like the localization code, the China code was called Winnie the Pooh. So,
perfect. Yeah.
Might not be able to get this game in China or any GOG games.
Yeah. Also, EA had a bunch of their like game data stolen, specifically regarding FIFA 2021.
Oh my God.
So there you go.
Wow.
I didn't look into when EA Play is, but it's usually around E3, and I was hoping to maybe see like, I don't think they're gonna have anything like to show off with the new skate, but it'd be nice to get another teaser or something. Anyways, let's do a quick fun one before we let you go today. A fun video.
God damn it.
Where there's this thing going around on all of the social media websites that vaccine conspiracy theorists seem to believe that getting the vaccine magnetizes you.
It turns you into magneto.
So people putting metal objects on them and it's sticking to you.
Yeah.
100% of the time, it's sticking to your sweaty body.
Yeah, it's because you're a sweaty boy in summertime.
In this video, in front of a lot of people, specifically with one onlooker right behind them, going, well, let's see what this is up to. This woman decides to just demonstrate to everyone how easy it is.
Oh my God. Oh my God, I've been vaxxed. I'm a magnet. I'm Magneto.
Yeah.
What the fuck? No, I'm sweaty. It's hot in here.
Let me see. I'm pretty dry. Let me see if... That's what happens when you move from an extremely humid climate to the desert.
Yeah.
I'm literally just
You're a dry
desert
boy.
sand.
You're a dry boy.
Anyways, much like I just demonstrated here with Elliot, please enjoy this woman in front of many, many people trying to prove her point.
This registered nurse who was following up after a apparently real doctor first brought this up on the stand of the Ohio State House.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
By the way, so I just found out something when I was on lunch, and I wanted to show it to you. We were talking about Dr. Tenpenny's testimony about magnetic vaccine crystals. So this is what I found out. So I have a key and a bobby pin here. Explain to me why the key sticks to me. It sticks to my neck, too. I got this. Yeah, so if somebody can explain this, that would be great. Any questions?
Wow, we're fucked. This country's fucked. Everyone's stupid as hell. We should have really, we should have never let leaded gasoline be a thing back in the, 50s and 60s, because look what's
the problem.
Done.
Yeah, shouldn't have given boomers all those participation trophies.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's it for today's video. We'll be back soon with a new episode of Weekly Weird News, so stay tuned for that and enjoy your E3-filled weekend, or maybe go outside and enjoy, I don't know, if you live near a beach or the woods, get outside and away from all the weirdos online.
And enjoy the show. One of our good friends is making it.
Yeah, he's
literally the guy producing the E3.
He's going to have a hell of a weekend.
Yep.
I don't feel bad, or I would not like to be in his shoes.
Nope, not at all.
No. All right, enjoy all of that, and we'll see you very soon.
Bye-bye.